Okay, this is Dr. Bernie Masseri, and in case you, little mistake there. In case you do not know me, I am a homeopathic practitioner, or homeopathic physician in Gilbert, Arizona. I was taught in Staines, England, where I learned the real homeopathy. Um, Many years ago, it was 1994, and I've been in, the business of homeopathic medicine ever since. So it's 2022, and I think I've learned something. I've learned a great deal about how to work with patients in different problems, different medical symptoms and situations, not to just help you get through, not to suppress so that you feel a little bit better, but to cure your problems. And according to the FDA, and I've said it before, we are not allowed to say the word cure. Okay, so what am I doing here if I can't cure you, right? Doctors of Western medicine, God bless them, and God bless our surgeons. Doctors are there to help you feel well. Feel well is not enough. Be well is where you should be aiming your arrows. There are so many health problems out there and concerns that we should have, so many things that we should hope we would never get in our lifetime, but it's a crapshoot. Things are going to happen. And some things that we really have no power over, as far as dodging different medical situations. So today, we're going to talk about viruses. Now, you've had enough time in the last 2 years to get used to the COVID virus and how unearthing and earth shaking that virus is. Because once it goes away, it's done its harm. Not just the sniffles, not just the fact that you couldn't taste or smell or the fever, not just the symptoms of COVID, but the everlasting symptoms that your nervous system will hide. This is where viruses hide, in your nervous system. This is why they are so complicated and hard to get rid of, is because they hide and they're tricky, viruses in your nervous system. Let's go back to something very easy to understand. When you were a kid, or an adult maybe, and you had the chicken pox, I can't call that a disease. I have to call that a virus. Because suddenly, bingo, you're breaking out with pustules all over the body. They're called chicken pox. I have no idea why. Maybe it goes back to the time where chickens spread a disease. I have no idea. Maybe. Why do you break out in pustules? Because that is the virus's way of telling you, hey guys, I'm here. I'm trying to get out of your nervous system. The skin is the last place I have for an escape. So this is what I'm doing. You see me now. Deal with it. So when you have the chicken pox and that virus is done, as far as the chicken pox that you have treated, what happens? Next step, herpes. That's what I'm talking about. So it stays in the nervous system as a hint of what once was. It's an energy that lays in the nervous system of a past virus. So you don't kill it. You just say, I'm going to deal with this until it's gone, no matter what your doctor does for you or what you do or what can be done or not done. Then the illness is over with, like the chickenpox goes away. But the virus, the hint of what the virus was is laying in your nervous system to eventually someday emerge as another form of that virus, the chickenpox, just like the Omicron is another, or Omicron, no, just like these new viruses are a product of COVID itself. COVID's the mothership, okay? And just like chickenpox, the mothership, and then you get the herpes, and then you get shingles. That's another form of chickenpox. COVID, this is the mothership. Then you have the Omicron, then you have this, and you have the Delta. All those things are energies that lay in the nervous system and eventually submerge or emerge as something new you have to deal with because of what you had before. So that's how a virus works. They're tricky. You don't get rid of them unless you kill them. Who knows how to kill a virus beside homeopathic practitioners? Who knows how to kill a virus out there? They give you antibiotics? No, I don't think so. They give you some kind of medication? Oh, well. If you go to the doctor with herpes, what do you think they're going to do for you in the medical world? They're going to give you diflucan. They're going to treat it. Well, they have other things now. They're going to treat valley fever, which is a fungal inflammation. They're going to give you diflucan or something that's going to, be related to fungus. Is that going to cure a virus? Oh, I don't think so. It might take the virus away so you can't see it or deal with it anymore. It might eliminate some of the fungus, but remember, fungus grows and you can't stop it. So the essence of this valley fever will hide in your nervous system as an energy of the valley fever, only to emerge later as some other disease or possible new virus. Does a virus turn into a virus? Does a virus turn into a disease? Could be. Can you have the same virus in your body at the same time? No. Can you have a cold twice on top of a cold? No. You can only deal with one illness at a time. So when you're dealing with viruses and they hide in the nervous system, how do you attack these viruses to kill them? A very easy way of killing off a virus is to treat that virus with the same virus. That's called treating like with like. So if you have Lyme disease, I'm going to treat you with what causes Lyme disease, which is Borrelia burgdorferi. This is a spirochete. If you can imagine, let me draw this for you if I can do that really quick. Okay, so here's a spirochete. Can you see that? Can you see that? Is it not dark enough? Okay, that's a spirochete. That's what it looks like. Now, where do you get the spirochete from? The deer tick. Have you been lucky enough to go around and get bitten by the deer tick? That deer tick has to have Lyme disease, the spirochete, in order to give you that. Not all ticks are the same. So don't freak out. But if you're in an area where you're overgrown with ticks, overridden with ticks, you might want to tuck your long pants into your boots and wear long sleeves and protect yourself. So the spirochete is actually what causes the Lyme disease. Now, that's called Borrelia burgdorferi, like I said. Now, that spirochete can reproduce itself, and this is how Lyme disease is so debilitating. This is how it puts you bedridden until you die. That's the bottom line. That's your alternative. Unless you have it treated, you're going to die. Understand what you're dealing with. Your people that belong to these Lyme groups, I don't mean to be rude, but you guys, either you don't believe that there's a cure for this because your doctors tell you there's no cure, or are you going to believe that? Or you like to keep that illness to talk to other people with the same illness because you don't have anything better to do. That's a sick reason for keeping an illness. Lyme disease is a deadly virus because it hides. You may have Lyme disease in your body for years and years and years until it decides to emerge and start crippling you. Sometimes ticks are so tiny. They could be as tiny as a pinhead. How are you going to find these things? It could be in your head, in your hair. It could be anywhere on your body, and you will not know. And you won't remember because you didn't see it. When the spirochete enters the bloodstream, the tissue, and the tissue to the bloodstream, and the bloodstream to your organs, that's why it's so debilitating. When it enters, what happens, how it multiplies, is it forms a cocoon. Now, here's the disgusting part of what you're dealing with. The spirochete forms a cocoon, and when it's grown, it emerges from that cocoon, and it could be hundreds of spirochetes that emerge at one time, and then they grow more spirochetes. So it's a never-ending story. And the more spirochetes you have in the bloodstream attacking your organs, the sicker you will become. So does the doctor kill the spirochete? They don't know how. They can see it in your blood sample, but they don't know how to kill this spirochete. And if they did, I want to see this because you've got 1 million people out there with Lyme disease that need help. What are you doing about it? And because science hasn't figured it out is because why you're not doing anything about it, because there's no way, you don't know. So when I treat Lyme disease, I will give you liquid that is Borrelia burgdorferi. It's the spirochete, but it is non-toxic. It's dead, but all the danger has been taken out of it, has been washed out. But the brain, when you put these drops under your tongue, the brain recognizes this as Lyme disease, as a spirochete, and the body will come to its own defense to kill the virus. That's homeopathy. If I had to sit here and explain how that happens, I'd have to give you an entire course, which you can have. You can have a short homeopathic course if you go to my website, gilbertnaturalmedicine.com. And that's where you'll find everything you want to learn about on my website. It's a great little website. You should go there. So when you're dealing with Lyme disease, I've had people come to me that their spouses had to drag them off the floor. So sick. Oh my gosh. And these people have been carrying this disease for years, and they just get sicker and sicker and sicker. And I just want to reach out and shake them and tell them, let me help you. Come on, let's go. Let's get rid of this. You don't have to live like this. And then they go online, on Facebook or whatever, and they talk about how sick they've been and What the heck? So do something about it. Let's go. Campers, let's go. Let's get rid of the Lyme disease. It is a horrible, horrible virus. My patients have come to me and they said, I'm losing my hair, I'm losing my vision, I'm weak, I have no get up and go, I'm sick, I'm running a low grade fever, um, I don't feel right, this isn't me, I need help, I don't know what's wrong with me. Go get tested. And then they find out they have Lyme disease. And they can't do anything about it unless, I give them the medicine to cure them. So they live like this year after year after year. That's sick. That's really sick, all right. It's sad. Let me treat your Lyme disease, please. It's only a 6-month protocol, 6 months out of your life to cure what otherwise will kill you. And I don't know how fast it travels because every person is different and every body is different. So I can't tell you what your Lyme disease is going to turn into 6 months from now. But I can tell you that in 6 months, I can get rid of this for you. And you could be on your way to normalcy again. Let's talk about valley fever. Some people think you have to be digging in the ground to get valley fever. It's got to go underneath your fingernails and you got to touch your face and all that. And you got to breathe it in. Valley fever are spores, yes, that you breathe in. And it attacks the body the same way Lyme disease would. Valley fever is very debilitating and you will be so sick. And you won't recognize that it's valley fever unless you have a specific blood test for a fungal disease. A good doctor of allergies, an allergist, will be able to find this a lot easier than your primary care doctor. So if you want to go to an allergist and you ask them to send you for a test for valley fever, they're going to find it. They know how to deal with this. So you're not going to know right away that you have valley fever until you get so sick you can no longer get out of bed. It's just like Lyme disease. How did you get this? It's in the air. Why doesn't everybody get this? Maybe you live in the part of country where it doesn't exist, but it exists in Arizona. And it's very elusive. So I had a patient that said, I have valley fever, and we just moved here from another state, and we didn't have all of this. And I was digging in my yard the other day, and now I have valley fever. Well, that's not because you were digging in your yard. That's because you breathed in those spores where you are around your house somewhere. You don't necessarily have to get your hands in dirt, although that doesn't help. Hand washing is so important. You learned that with COVID. You come in from the store, wash your hands immediately. I don't care. You wash your hands the minute you walk in your door. You touched things in that grocery store that other people that were carriers of COVID touched. It's that easy, that simple. You wash your hands. You stay your distance from someone. If you don't want to wear a mask, that's up to you nowadays. So when you come in from the store, when you come in from outside, when you come in from wherever you've gone, you wash your hands and you practice good hand washing every day of your life. And you teach that to your children as well, whether it be COVID or not. It could be valley fever. It could be Lyme disease. It could be anything. It could be herpes or any other STD. You have a cut on your hand. There you go. That's how it spreads. So don't use other people's cups unless they're washed, or toothbrushes, or anything that they put their mouth on, because that, it spreads like that. It's the mucous membranes that carry all of this, like mycoplasma pneumonia. Mycoplasma pneumonia is terrible. It's walking pneumonia. So you don't know you have pneumonia. You just keep getting sicker. It should clear itself up in a few weeks on its own, but it could take your voice away. You will have no voice. Low-grade fever. You're lethargic. Mycoplasma pneumonia is also found in a test. If your allergist is going to send you for a test to see if you have valley fever or not, he can also put in a test for mycoplasma pneumonia. Very important. If you go to the doctor and you say, I feel bad, I'm sick, I have a low-grade fever, I get the chills, he's going to tell you, oh, you got the flu, go home. Oh, really? Everything is the flu now, right? No. I want specifics from you, my doctor. Send me for several different tests. They don't do that. So they're going to send you home with the flu. You're going to get so sick. Then you're going to go back and say, I haven't recovered. There's something wrong. Okay, well, then let's run some tests. Well, hey, why didn't you do that the first time I came here and spent $65 to see you? That's kind of the way it goes. You need blood tests. You need tests. You need to be tested for all these things. If you don't feel good and you don't know what your illness is, get tested. That's why I do these videos, to get you smart, to make you realize this is what could be happening in my life. Don't stay sick. Get well. If you know there's a place for you to end all of these illness problems, all these viruses that nobody can capture, come and see us. We're Gilbert Natural Medicine. I'm a homeopath. I'm at 480-703-0151. That's 480-703-0151. I may be in Gilbert, but I treat globally all over the world. People come to me from everywhere. And now, since COVID, I have decided to give up my office and treat everyone online as a safety precaution. So you don't have to get in your car and spend the gas and the miles to get to my office, number one. You can be living in Katanga and find me. You can be anywhere around the globe and see me online. All you have to do is call me and request an appointment. I will take your email and send you a link. At the time of your appointment, you click on the link. You're in the room with me, and we do a 45-minute to hour consultation. And then I know exactly what to do for you. It's so easy to stay well. And you know what? Coming from me, I think I've been through just about almost everything. Why? I think so that I'm smart enough to, or knowledgeable enough to, share these things with you. I haven't been through herpes. I haven't been through Lyme disease or anything like that, but I've been through my share, and I know enough as a homeopath how to cure these things and how to bring this information to you so that you will be wiser and live more healthy. Again, I am Dr. Bernie. I am a homeopath. I studied in England for a long time, got my PhD out of Hawaii, and have been around since 1994. So if you want to listen to my podcasts, that would be on Spreaker.com. So Spreaker Radio, and it's called Symptoms of Diseases Show. Symptoms of Diseases Show. That's the title of my podcasts. And here on YouTube, it's where am I? On YouTube, it is Health and Wellness with Dr. Bernie. I have had fun, and we'll do this again as soon as possible with another informative